Okay.
All right. The whistling is back. We did not miss it. I missed you, not the whistling. Hey, welcome everybody. We are back with Crossing the Streams, where we answer the universal question: what should I be binge watching next? I just finished something. Now I got to watch something else. What should that be? Well, you've come to the right place. Believe it or not, on our YouTube channel, we have over 102 hours of TV binge watching, streaming suggestions, just waiting for you, just sitting there waiting for you. It's crazy. Over 200. This is the 200 plus right here. This is episode 103, the third episode of 2023. Now you say you got it. You know that you say 103, third episode of the year. That's why we skip. Anyway, so we got a couple guests. Marci, who we're going to vote in later, see if she should become a regular of the show. And then Raphael Moran. Tell us, everyone, Raphael, tell everyone about yourself. Take a couple minutes on your podcast. You got an awesome podcast, many awesome podcasts. So say hello to everyone.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. I'm Raphael Moran. I am the Geeky Dad from the Geeky Dad podcast. And I also have a spin-off from that show called the Geeky Dad After Dark. What we do on our show is we review movies with our kids. And we get the kids' perspective on various movies. And the After Dark show is just me and the wife talking about like the adult stuff that we can't talk with the kids, like like The Boys, for instance. We can't talk
just
about the
talking.
Boys, Yeah, sometimes we flirt. Yeah.
All right. So everyone will check that out. We'll talk about it again. Marci, welcome back. We gotta do the theme song. Raphael, it's the honor of the guest to
put me on the spot. Okay.
It's to the tune of you only have to do the first part and then I'll pass it along. It's to the tune of the Brady Bunch. You want to just go here's the story.
Okay. Right. When you want me to start? Right now?
Right? Yeah, okay, right now.
Okay. Here's the story of some lonely fellows. Was that the first line, or got to do the whole thing?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Just do the whole thing. Yeah. This screen.
This is going well.
Sorry.
I know it doesn't worry, and believe me, there's no bonus points for doing this well or bad. Just start over. We'll all right. Take two.
I am not a good singer at all. Okay.
No, it's okay. You could do it any style you want. Someone's did it as Shatner once.
You sound like William Hung there. I have no professional training.
No. Okay, here we go. Here's the story of some lonely fellows who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them have jobs and friends. Well, not really. Just between you and me.
Marci.
They made a live show out of their hobby. Every TV watcher's TV watching dream. Jeff, Ron, Saul, and Bob, and there's Howard. They call it Crossing Streams, and me.
Hey, Sal, go ahead.
You gotta unmute your mic. Sal's mic is muted.
Unmute your mic, you.
I was coughing. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platform. But man, we crossed this.
I like how he started right where he left off from the mute. We cross the streams, everyone.
We cross the streams.
That's the way.
Here we cross the streams.
Everyone at home.
You should probably rehearse a little bit.
So, welcome everybody. So that was fun. It's at the end. Oh, we always lose it at the end a little bit. The mics can't handle it. StreamYard can't take that much power and melody.
So much talent at once.
So much talent at once. So Marci was I saw on Facebook was talking Carol Baskin's husband's actually.
Yeah. Do tell. So he's alive?
According to the New York
He's
Post.
alive?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
All I'm doing is sharing an article and just believing it.
So what do you believe? Do you believe it?
Yeah,
I don't
any
know.
pictures of them?
I mean,
No, there are. It came out actually like I think almost a year ago.
a year ago, and we were all just so busy.
Wow.
You know,
that was
Yeah,
all
there was a
watching
whole
other
scene.
things.
scam. It was all for ratings.
So well,
Yeah.
so here's the thing.
Right.
Like
I won't believe until I see a DNA test.
True, true.
Let's see. Well, here, let's say hello to everyone real quick. Lee, what's up, Lee?
What's up,
Lee, how are you, sweetie?
Hi, Lee.
There's Ron trolling her own show.
What's up,
We got
Ronnie?
Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
What is it?
Mine isn't a
Okay.
podcast. Well,
All right. Do we say hi
Nice.
to Hey Lee? Oh, what's this? Just found the bot. All right. All right. Well, okay. So I interviewed Carol Baskin a long time ago.
Wow.
Yes.
Right.
I know.
Classic
And
term.
just a
Is this
name
before
drop.
the show? That
This is after Tiger King. I interviewed
Okay.
her, and it's funny. 'Cause as many people as I've interviewed that are very famous, that I would consider extremely famous, I usually everyone's doe-eyed during, hey, Ed Asner, Ed Beckley Jr., Dave Thomas, dope. Carol Baskin, you interviewed Carol Baskin? Oh my God. I'm like, thanks. And I mean, she was lovely. She was great. But it was interesting because, Tiger King was one of those things that we all watched during the pandemic, right? That was a pandemic show. Who knows if it would have blown up as much, but the world shut down and we all watched Tiger King. So in preparation for that interview, I rewatched what I think was episode 3. I can't remember. It was either episode 2 or 3, basically where they introduce Carol Baskin.
Mhm.
If you go rewatch that episode, it's you will be self-embarrassed about how much you allowed that show to manipulate you into thinking that Carol Baskin ever did anything. Like it's pure manipulation. Like it'll just be like, Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin killed everybody, and then they just cut to a random picture of Carol Baskin and zoom in or whatever, and go. Da-da-da-da. And you're like, oh my God, she totally did do it. Why else would they zoom in with ominous music?
Well-
She clearly is guilty. And, so it's like when you rewatch it, you realize, oh my God, this show is just an entire manipulation to like this narrative.
Oh, what a
which I don't-
surprise.
It's just
that's
so
that's
fun.
with most documentaries.
I know.
You
But
know-
like everyone was hook, line, and sinker on this one. But then when I rewatched it, I was just like, "Oh my God!" I was embarrassed.
You got upset with me when you had Carol on, because in the you announced it, I was writing little notes like, I can't believe you're interviewing that killer.
Yeah.
Ask her,
I remember that.
ask her where the body is, blah blah. You're like, you kept deleting the comments.
Yeah, I know
I remember that.
because I'm Facebook friends with these people. Bob. I got
I know.
but I thought that was interesting. So
So I got to tell you, I did post. My one post said Carol Baskin's husband is alive, and my mother calls me and she says, "Marci, what does that mean? What does your Facebook post mean?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, Mom? Is that Netflix show, whatever?" She goes, "Marci, I play cards with a Carol Baskin. What
Get
are you
out.
talking about?" I
Oh,
swear to
geez.
God. And I'm like, "Mom, this is not
great.
your friend."
Oh. What cards did they play?
She's playing Maj.
Of course,
Is
it's
that not even
Maj.
cards?
Yeah.
She's playing tiles, I guess.
That's
Tiles.
really funny.
Tiles.
That's really funny.
Mahjong. Is that short for mahjong?
Mahjong. Her and Carol
Okay.
Baskin are playing
All
Mahjong.
right. All right. Well, we've got so much in this episode. Let's remind everyone of last week's amazing episode, which was Tulsa King. Marci talked about that one. I got to say, I've watched now the first 2 episodes. Amazing show. Smile, we did not do, but we're doing today because Ron.
Nice.
Actually
has internet.
Actually has internet, and then we talked all about Rocky Balboa, and just to recap, Bob methodically went through the order he suggests people should watch Rocky, which was in this order. Grab a pen, everyone. Rocky 1, 2, then 3, then 4,
No.
then 5.
No, I said
Okay,
skip
so
4
in
and
order.
5.
It was basically in order. And then and then we discussed the documentary She, which by the way, my interview with Amy Baker and the directors of that goes live at midnight on my podcast channel as a bonus episode. And then we also discussed Casey Ryan Platt was here and talked about Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street. So it was a good jam packed. We got a great show for you today. I don't even know where. I mean, this is Emmy Award winning. The Baby on HBO. We got Smile. Finally, we're going to cover Smile. But this one I'm really interested in. The Hatchet, Wielding Hitchhiker. It's not a rom. It's like if a rom-com went bad. So that's why Sal's doing it.
Yes.
And then Jack Ryan, and then Unsolved Mysteries, Death at a Vegas Motel.
Boom.
Motel.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Really
not a
exciting.
hotel. Motel.
Interesting.
All right,
Motel.
because we didn't get to it last week, let's start off with, let's go right into Smile with Ron Lippert.
Smile. Has anybody seen it?
Yes,
I have not.
I have.
Okay, so I'd never even heard of this movie before I boarded Delta Airlines flight 1805 to Sacramento, California, and there it was, right there on my Delta headrest. And Delta does a nice job of giving you previews before they hit the streaming networks. And there's this film called Smile. Didn't know anything about it. Just had a creepy person in front, so why not? I'll take a shot at it. And boy, was I intrigued by this film. So first off, let me just say, I had no idea who Sosie Bacon was.
Right.
And just to end the question, this is Kevin Bacon's 30-year-old daughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Is that the woman on the poster?
No.
No.
The woman on the poster is one of the first key moments of the movie.
Right.
And I will just say the woman on the poster has a particularly creepy smile.
Yeah.
So let me just say this about the formula of the movie Smile. Let's start with the fact that it was created on a $17 million budget. And would you believe me if I told you that it has grossed $216 million worldwide already, and it hasn't even hit the streaming networks yet. It just went live, actually, I should say, on Paramount Plus. So it hasn't even gotten its big payday on any of the big streams yet, or any of the aftermarket stuff. So this is a monster money-making film. It also is formulaic in the sense that it just like unapologetically borrows from some other great movies that I loved. And so like the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington is just unashamedly pursued in this movie. The movie It Follows, which I don't know if anybody
love that.
That's
familiar.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
It Follows. It has very close ties to It Follows, and then The Ring. If anybody saw that movie, it has a particular part of the movie The Ring that it just unabashedly steals from The Ring. Like so. This is like a Frankenstein.
Jerry, sorry, that's a good joke, Jerry.
That's actually true, Jerry. Thank you. So I feel like they like Frankenstein this movie. They just took pieces of other movies and threw it together. So I came here ready to just absolutely blast this film to you guys as just lazy, convoluted, bullcrap Frankenstein movie. And I have to tell you, it's just well done. I can't knock this movie. The acting is superb. I don't know anything about Sosie Bacon, but she is excellent in this movie. Parker Finn, who directed it and wrote the screenplay for this movie, I have never heard of ever in my life, but he wrote a short story called Laura Hasn't Slept. And that is the actual story by which the movie Smile was wrapped around. So it's actually a movie adaptation of a short story, which there's some great examples of. As we've talked about in other episodes of Crossing the Streams, there are some great movies out there that are adaptations of short stories, not the least of which, of course, was The Shawshank Redemption. So it does follow that path. For those of you who know nothing about the movie Smile, it is a psychological horror film. As I said, it's directed by Parker Finn. It is his directorial debut, but you would never know it by the way this thing is built and the way this thing flows very nicely. It's, again, Sosie Bacon as a therapist. who begins the very start of the movie witnessing an absolutely bizarre suicide. And the moment of the completion of the suicide, and this is not ruining anything, the suicide person in her presence just beams this absolutely horrifying smile, and then proceeds to kill herself right in front of Sosie.
So bizarre, not like David Carradine in the closet. Bizarre,
no, bizarre.
I would like to see that on film.
It appeared to be a pleasurable, absolutely horrifying suicide right in front of this woman.
Okay.
And there you are sent on a 2-hour mission of finding out what the hell just happened. And the movie continues to open up as you experience more and more psychological things that happen to this poor woman. And Sosie Bacon is asked as an actor to become more and more unhinged as this movie moves through its story arc. And that's usually where young actors or inexperienced actors, they lose it at some point. And I will just say she did a really nice job carrying the story all the way through to the end. And the ending is the ending's just fantastic, right?
Oh, really?
And so I am not a horror fan. I'm not one of these. Mick Manhattan, if he were here, would have a lot to say about this, since he seems to love horror films. But I will just say, this is a terrific beginning, middle, and end. The arc is interesting. The acting is excellent. The production value is terrific. I will give special kudos to the music and sound editing to this, which is perfect. Yes, it's filled with jump scares, and yes, it's filled with kind of vibey pieces that you would expect from modern horror films. But I'd say all in all, this is a winner, and I understand why people are taking to this movie, and now I understand why it's 200 million plus worldwide. So if you aren't freaked out by horror films, and you're not freaked out by just a little bit of gore, not much, it's not terribly gory, it's more intrigue and that kind of scary, I think you guys will enjoy this film. And so for that reason, I actually surprisingly recommend it, even though it is formulaic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raphael, what do you think?
Nice review.
Well, so you're saying we're gonna see Smile 2, Smile 3, and Smile 4. So.
I don't know. Maybe we will see Smile 2. I mean, listen, I don't want to give anything away, but I will just say the ending allows, if they chose to, it does allow for them to continue the story.
Yeah.
But
they will.
I really would like you guys to see this movie just so we could talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to review, to give you anything more than just the storyline without giving things away. So I'm kind of stuck with that. But I would love for you guys to take a look at this and talk about it in a future episode.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we may have to
good.
have an entire episode debating whether she's really 1 degree when technically she's 50%.
Fair. It's not even a degree. It's like
Right. It's not even right. And I mean, she has quite a DNA pool.
She could
Kira
start with her
Sedgwick
like
and Kevin
2-year.
Bacon.
You know what?
birthday party.
So Jeff, here's what's really funny. The first, I would say, 20 minutes of the movie, I'm embarrassed to say this, I thought it was Jennifer Connelly. Like I didn't know. I'm like, gosh, Jennifer Connelly looks great. She's young. Look how
She's
good
60.
Look how
Ron.
good. I know. I was like, look how good
Adjust
she
your
looks.
vertical hold.
I didn't see that at all. I don't know if you saw that.
And then I'm like, wait, that's not Jennifer Connelly. This girl's 30 years younger than Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, this is this next show that I'm really interested in. I started to watch it a long time ago. I think we have a few seasons, but our guest Raphael is going to take it. Geeky Dad this up, man.
Yes. Well, I never thought Jim from The Office would ever become such a badass actor. Like, he's doing Jack Ryan. He's doing, I think he did a movie called 13 Hours for Michael Bay. Mm-hmm. And, then you have like the Quiet movies that he did.
Yeah.
He's really turned himself into like a totally different actor that I never thought he would be like this badass, as a guy. Yeah. Because, when you look at Jim on The Office, he does that goofy face.
Yeah.
Never would I ever thought he would be this cool. Now, you guys have seen the previous Jack Ryan movies before, right?
Yeah, I can't picture him as Jack Ryan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with Harrison
Yeah.
Ford, Ben Affleck,
Harrison Ford,
and,
Alec
and
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think I
Yeah.
speak for most women. I think it's great.
Yeah. It's something we're missing right now on TV. It's like a smart, like, action thriller. Everything's all sci-fi. Superheroes, something for adults. Finally, I think. It reminds me of 24. Remember 24?
Mm-hmm.
Has
Yeah,
that
totally.
like tense intrigue, espionage, thriller aspects to it, and the only downside I have with the show is Jack Ryan is, when he was created, he was like rooted in Cold War. He was a character created during that time, and none of the storylines in the show is actually based on any of the books, which I think is kind of like, I kind of wish they had said it, back in the 80s, maybe a little bit,
Like a Cold War kind of
so
thing.
it's the character, but now, not when it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's missing a little bit of that regular Jack Ryan flair from the books, because I think that's really a part of the character. I think, I don't know. Have you guys read any of the books?
Mm-mm.
Jack Ryan book? Yeah.
Nope.
There's like over 50 or some books.
Really?
Yes, a lot.
I
of
did
books.
not know.
It's a lot of books. I mean, I'm exaggerating. It's not 50, but it's a lot.
So
Yeah.
what's the basic plot line of the Jack Ryan series? Like, where does it, is he younger than he was?
He is younger. It's kind of it's kind of like a prequel a little bit, because in the later books he's married and he's settled down. He has kids. In the Harrison Ford movies, you saw him. He has kids and is married and stuff. But this is even before he's even married. He has no kids. I think he's just out of college. And he's an analyst, of course. He starts off as an analyst and discovers some faulty paperwork, and then gets stuck in a big quest to save the world again. That's how it is. Yeah, that's how it is.
Love it.
Got to save the world. Got to save the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and plus he's like the everyman. He's not like the typical action hero. He's not like James Bond. He's not like.
Well,
like
he
a Vin
bulks
Diesel.
up. The actor bulks up for this role, though, doesn't he?
He did.
He looks
He
a
did.
lot, a little testosterone. They always do that. 6 weeks in the gym with a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it a good story, or is it just Krasinski beating the crap out of people?
No, it's every season has like one storyline, so you don't really have to like watch every season to understand what's going on. So first season was mostly about a terrorist attack, right? Second season is you go to Venezuela to deal with drug dealers and all that stuff, and then this current season is basically Russia is a bad guy again. Timely, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are doing the 80s.
Yeah, basically. Everything's come back around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
and they just finished 3 seasons. Is there any plans for any more, or is this a
I
wrap
think
up?
they're doing one more season, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Any of you guys seen this show?
I have
Oh,
not.
yeah. I watch it.
Marci, what do you think?
Great
Marci?
show. Great show.
Well,
Yeah.
Marcy's into the Krasinski factor here. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, it is it is a very smart show. With action and well written and just fun.
Yeah.
So you like it from the lady point of view?
Oh yes. He's he's still a little Jim. Jim's still in there.
Marcy, is that
My
a
wife loves
Jackson
the show.
Pollock behind you? What do you? What is that?
This behind me? No,
Yeah.
my kids made that at preschool.
Nice.
Wow, that's good.
Just
Wow.
joking. I'm just joking.
That's awesome. All right. Well, great job. All right. So
Nice
everyone
job.
check out Jack Ryan. Let's see. What do we got? Where should we go next? All right. You know what? I'm really interested in the Hatchet wielding hitchhiker.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Take it away, Sal.
All right. Good. By the way, did anybody see this yet?
I saw it being pitched to me on it's Netflix, right?
I saw a little
Yeah.
trailer for it.
Yeah, I saw the trailer also, so I'm dying to hear about this.
Yeah, cool. So I don't remember this story. It's
No,
it's a story
no.
from 2013. Pretty up to date on stuff like that, and I just don't remember it. I don't know if anybody else did, but anyway, let me take you to the very beginning of the story. So picture about a 60-year-old guy driving down the road, and he sees a hitchhiker, and he decides to be a nice guy and pick this kid up. And when he picks this kid up, his name is Kai. That's what he goes by. Nobody knows his name at that point. It's just that's his kind of nickname. And he kind of has looks like a young Carrot Top, without like seriously, like long hair and just kind of like a surfer dude, like a Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that kind of character. And he gets picked up and he's driving with this guy, and then they get in an accident. They hit some car, and there's some minority people outside, and this guy, his name is Jeff, just starts just berating these people with racist comments, and people were coming over to try to help because they kind of had a minor accident, not really major. And this Jeff guy goes, attacks somebody that's going on. I mean, the news gets there and all kinds of stuff's happening. Well, this Kai guy just takes a hatchet out of his bag and hits this guy over the head with it, and saves these people's lives. I mean, the guy that picked him up, he actually ends up turning on him, and he's kind of hailed a hero. The news comes out, and this one guy gets an interview of him, a local newscaster, gets the major interviewer that interviews this kid, and at the time it's nothing, it's just a local story. He does a 6.5-minute interview with this kid, and during the interview he has which was a great soundbite for all over the world, but he's explaining how he did this, and he literally acts it out. He goes, I just went smash and smash and smash, and that became just a news clip all over the world. And this kid, so anyway, that happens. Everybody goes away that day. Nobody knows nothing. I mean, maybe exchange insurances and all that. The guy that works at the news stations says, I'm going to go to bed. He goes, I'm going to throw this up on my YouTube just for the hell of it. I'm going to just click send and go to bed. He wakes up and it's got like 500,000 views. It's just exploded all over the internet. This kid, this lovable kid who saved the day, and we want this, we want to interview this kid. We got to find this kid. We got to find out more about him and what he's all about. But he's a homeless, just a guy just living off the land. He has no address, no name, no license, no nothing. And what's kind of crazy about that particular accident where this guy got the interview from him, he didn't want to do any other interview, because when this thing kind of got crazy going, all these other newscasters came, and the kid didn't want to do any other interview. So this guy has the only interview of this kid. So they because he's went viral, he was kind of easy to track down. And basically this is, I don't want to go over the whole documentary, but basically it's just his life and how he went right. He got to go on Jimmy Kimmel. He's actually a decent guitarist, and he ends up being in a band because he's got fans all over the world. I mean, his Facebook feed is busy, and so they interview everybody that's in this documentary. And the guy that ran the band, he goes, "Hey, I'll be honest with you." He goes, he's a decent guitar player, but the only reason we hired him was we just wanted to get more people out of our show, So they invite him out to this bar, and he's kind of like he's just got a lot of like anxiety, and he just does things like he just urinates like outside. I mean, the guy was homeless, so when he's at this bar playing in this band, he just goes outside and starts pissing on the front of and the owner's like, they interview the owner of the bar, and he's like, yeah, man, we really didn't like this kid. We know he went viral and he brought some people in that day, but he was kind of an asshole, man. I just kind of kicked him out, So they literally kicked this kid out. He's kind of got that kind of attitude, and then basically he's just loved all over the world. I mean, he's just this went viral, and he did Kimmel, and he's not really taking advantage of it. He doesn't really care about the money. He doesn't care about nothing. He just wants a surfboard and go surfing. And he just lives off the land, like I said. And then it turns into, it just flip-flops. Here's this lovable guy who goes viral, and then he's involved in a guy that was murdered inside of his New Jersey home. And, they show he was involved in it. Obviously, this guy kind of helped him out, kind of like that Jeff guy earlier in the story. And not to give everything away, but basically
Hatchet.
It turns into a murder mystery now. Did Kai do it? And then that goes viral. And then people are like side with him, saying there's no way Kai did it because he's so great of a person and he tries to help people. And kind of backtracking a little bit, when he would get interviewed, he'd have all these philosophical sayings to help people. Hey, if you made a mistake in your life, you don't need to be down on yourself. You'll get through it. And he was just loved. So people didn't think he did it. And it just turns into that the evidence clearly says that he did do it. And he said that he got raped and it went through court systems and all that. He had to go to court and all that. He went to jail until the court date. So anyway, it's a very, very interesting documentary. I kind of flew right through it, but they interview all the characters that are part of his life, his mom and dad, friends of his that he grew up with. It's just a really, really interesting story. And and all this happens in 3 months, from the time his video goes viral to the time that he,
just have an outage or something.
Murder is 3 months. It's a crazy 15 minutes of fame, as they say. This guy got his, and it was.
I never heard about it.
Yeah, very, very good documentary. I give it 4 tomato sauce jars. I'll give it 4. It was Netflix's first documentary of the year, and they say that they've got more documentaries coming. So look out for a bunch of really good documentaries. And if they're anything like this one, they've got some good ones coming out, because this one they let it off really strong with a really good one. I recommend it.
So he's Carrot Top with one prop.
Very good, Bob. Yes, he is.
I was waiting on that one.
Kind of reminded me of early Pauly Shore to me, though.
Yeah.
He struck me as sort of a young Jennifer Connelly.
Yes, we all thought that.
Yeah.
We all thought that.
Who is this young ingenue I've never seen before? Could it be 62-year-old Jennifer Connelly? No, it's. I don't know how old she is, but
she looks great for her age, though.
Yeah. No, I think she's 50 something. She's young 50s.
I'm Googling it.
You convinced Casey Ryan Plot, and Lee is happy to
finally
see
tomato. Salad with tomatoes.
He's excited.
Jennifer Connelly's 52, Bob.
Okay.
Wow.
I adjusted my fire on that one.
Well, she was age appropriate for Cruise.
She is.
Oh, that's right. She was in Maverick.
Woman.
She looked good in Maverick. You didn't get that far into the movie, Bob.
No, but I rewatched Once Upon a Time in America, and she was just a little kid in it. She played she was like 10 in that movie. And who was the adult version of her? I can't remember. Elizabeth McGovern.
I like Elizabeth McGovern.
Yeah, that works.
Great movie,
All right.
yeah.
Well, speaking of 10, let's talk about the baby.
The baby.
I want to know about this.
Has anyone heard of the baby besides
No.
me?
I saw it.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, I'm very excited. The baby. Okay, so it was
I
one
thought
of
it was
those
hilarious.
nights. It was. Well, I'll start by saying that it is it's a British horror comedy. So it goes right with the smile. It's horror, and but it's funny. Yeah. And no one had heard of it. It was one of those just with the remote control, like, what are we going to watch? 30 minutes just scrolling through. We must have been on HBO Max. That's what it's on. And we just stopped at the baby, and we ended up episode. We watched the whole thing in a binge, couple of days. So it's a limited series with 8 episodes, but I kind of felt that the ending opened them up for a second season. I was surprised to see that it was a limited series.
Season 2, the toddler. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, so the baby, it's just the cutest baby. So it is
Yes.
about a baby, as you know from the title, but it's about a 38-year-old woman named Natasha, and she is single and successful, and all of her friends are having babies, and she's having a hard time with it. And they're all into their babies, and they're just ruining the fun that she's used to having. So she's got to get her mind clear and like kind of like take off for maybe a weekend. And somehow, basically, this baby finds her. This is an adorable baby. I rewatched a little bit to be prepared for today because I saw this a while ago. And this baby is gorgeous. It is the cutest, most evil baby ever. So it's so evil. And
it's a British baby, right?
It's a British baby.
It's evil to begin with.
You gotta come see the baby.
You gotta come see the baby.
Well, so
Hey,
funny.
Carmen.
Hi, Carmen.
Hi, Carmen. Well, anyhow, this baby needs this woman. This woman wants nothing to do with the baby, and anyone that gets in between them dies. Like, there's a lot of death. So it's a very, gory, and anyway, there's just a lot of interesting little stories besides, this whole baby. And I have to say, not every single episode is like, wow, you have to kind of maybe push, maybe after the third, I don't remember, episode, you might have to say, okay, we need to still continue with this. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like I almost gave up on the White Lotus and I went back and I loved it.
Is it kind of like The Omen where this baby is killing people with the help of others, or is it doing it all itself?
I don't really think so. And they actually leave a lot for us to kind of make up in our own heads how this is all happening. But it's very entertaining. I mean, it's funny and it's
so
dark.
it's not killing people, but this is a very naughty baby.
So
I think this baby puts
the baby's always in a onesie. I will tell you, this baby always looks adorable.
So is Bob.
I'm intrigued.
Let's see what else. It's very, very entertaining, and it's not long, 8 episodes and you're done. But I don't even talk about this other woman who knows about the baby. Like, I don't like to ruin. I get worried that I'm going to, take a little piece
that
away.
Might reveal a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't want to give away too much.
So just quick question. It's British, right? So are you watching this with captions on, with subtitles?
Okay. Great question. There was one character who I looked at when I was watching today, and I looked at my husband. I'm like, did we watch this with subtitles on? Because I don't know what the person just said, but you could totally understand. It's just one character, but it's yeah. But if you need it, do it, because
we do it.
Everything with
no matter
subtitles
what.
now.
Yeah.
We do everything now.
Yeah.
Yep. We do.
How else would you know there's a bird chirping?
Yeah.
Or
dramatic music.
There's a bird
in
chirping.
parentheses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Yellowstone is amazing with the captions on, especially with all the songs. Because all the
videos when they take 8 minutes
songs.
for a cowboy video. Music video.
Okay, so all right, so the basic. How long are these episodes?
I
think it's
don't
about
remember.
40
I'm
minutes.
thinking that they were just about, it was not an hour. So I would say 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes sounds about right. But you liked it, Geeky Dad?
Yes.
It's very different.
The death scenes are pretty shocking, though.
Yes.
They come out of nowhere.
Fisherman, I agree with you. I must have subtitles.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Oh, anything else you want to add, Raphael?
No, it's a pretty good show. I don't know. I don't think they should do a second season. Some shows, just need to be like left alone sometimes.
Done.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
I believe I'm fine with it being done. But it was it wasn't amazing, but it's very good.
All right, well, you convinced
Casey's going to go get a baby because of you. A British baby.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Well, I'll check it out. Good show.
All right, we'll check out the baby.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to say one other thing. Who did The Sixth Sense? Because I can never get his name right.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
This show reminds me of. I bet he likes this. This reminds me of something that he would be involved with. I just like. I
Okay.
think of him
I
when I
like
watch
his
it.
movies.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think.
You don't think so?
No,
I
because
don't
this
know.
is actually good.
Raphael, I agree with that. So, like a million episodes, I reviewed Shyamalan, Long Ding Dong's Servant on HBO on what do you call it? Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
It's like one of the top shows on Apple. That show sucks.
Uh-oh. My
it's a
brother's gonna
terrible
chime
show.
in on that one.
I haven't liked anything he's done in ages.
Okay. Well, I did write down The Sixth Sense, so it was probably the last time you were happy with his work.
I thought Old was pretty good. I liked Old.
I thought that was ridiculous.
It was a little
It's
ridiculous.
a terrible movie. Terrible show.
Maybe he just didn't understand that they got old.
Yeah.
I think we got into a fight. Like my husband was like, "You made us watch that," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." It was one of the.
I might have seen it on a plane, and that might have made it better.
Oh, that's
all right.
different.
Well, let's make everything better. What is better in life than dying in a Vegas motel? Let's unsolve mystery, especially if it's unsolved.
Yeah.
Death
specific.
at a Vegas motel. Very specific episode.
Season 3, episode 4.
Yeah, I love this series. I couldn't wait for this season 3 to come out, and it took 2 years. I love it because, when I was younger, I watched the old Robert Stack series, and that was always so, overblown and overly dramatic. This is a lot different. This is, they edit it for drama, obviously. And in that way, it's a lot like one of Sal and I's favorite shows, Dateline. But I was especially cognizant of their masterful editing. That's what makes these shows so compelling, because this story, a guy who's found dead in a Motel 6 in Vegas, could be told in 3 minutes. That's it. He was found. He's dead. They don't know how it happened. Could have been drugs. Could have been mob hit. Okay, that's it. That is the gist of this story. But the fact that they start sort of in the middle, right, and then they drib out information in little bits and pieces, and they throw up a couple of red herrings. I mean, I think these episodes were only like 50 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. And I loved watching this because of the story itself, but the way they edited it and made it interesting, it began with the fact that this guy, his name is Buffalo Jim Barrier, and every city has a guy like this. He's, we had Ollie Fretter here, I'll give you 5 pounds of coffee if you can't beat your best deal. He's the crazy mattress guy, from Houston. Every city knows this man, and he was a sort of a cult hero in Vegas for years, because he ran a wrestling federation, for like 4 years, an independent thing, and he's had hair down to the middle of his back, and he rides a Harley, but he also drives a Rolls Royce, and he has this auto repair shop that people love to go to. And he's just beloved. He's just everybody loves this guy. And so it starts there. And then the first thing they throw out at you is that the guy's got 4 young girls. And they actually say, though his wife loved him dearly, she left with the 4 girls and went to Seattle. Wait a minute, time out. What the fuck are you saying? She loved him, but she just took off. So they don't get into any of that. It's a plot point that they just have to get to and then get over, right? So it's kind of a bit of ham-handed editing there. But anyway, so this guy is he runs this auto shop, and next to him is a strip club, and the strip club is making more money per customer than any casino in Vegas. And it's run by the mob, and they want to squeeze this guy out because they want to expand the strip club. And he's saying, no, you can't do that. And they're harassing him, and they're trashing his customers' cars in the parking lot. They're giving him all kinds of hell. And he takes them to court, and then he winds up dead in a motel room bed. And again, they start giving you little scraps to go on. Okay, he was not a big cocaine user, but they found cocaine in him. Okay, so he's an overweight guy. He lives terribly. He doesn't eat well. And everybody's surprised why he's dead. So I'm thinking, why are they doing this episode? I know why this guy died. It was hypertension and coke. Done, right? Well, so they, again, they start throwing out just little nuggets here and there. Well, then you find out that the supposed mob hit, which seemed like a red herring at first, actually could be the thing that this whole episode revolves around, because the guy who owned the strip club had to go to jail for like, I think 9 years for having a patron beat the living shit out of this guy and crippled him for life. So it's only later in this episode you find out it's the day after this guy gets out of prison that Buffalo Jim Barrier winds up dead, right? So this guy has a vendetta. He's waited 9 years. He's gonna kill. Well, another thing they do is just when you're kind of going, I don't know if this is they introduce his daughters. Hello. Okay.
Wow.
And two gorgeous women, one in particular, a very interesting name, Jerica is her name. And she just fills up that screen, man. You're like, wow, this is a beautiful woman. And he's got a really interesting story to tell, because when you meet her in this, she's already been fighting to reopen this case since 2008, because she was living with her father when he was killed. In it was a great big house. You could have called it a mansion, but it was on this weird road, on this gravel road, and sagebrush, and it just looked, anyway, a lot of weird things about this guy's life. But as they want you to know throughout all of this, he was a good guy. He had no enemies. This couldn't have happened except, well, it could have been this, it could have been that. So at every turn, just as it's about to kind of swing off into banality, they bring the girls back again. You're like, okay, I'm listening. And I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up too much of it, because like I said, 15 minutes in, I was really disappointed. I'm like, they fucked this one up, because they didn't give me enough red herrings. They didn't give me enough. They didn't dangle me enough, but then they do. And it's perfect. It's perfect the way they do it. And that's the essence of this whole show, not just this episode, but of Unsolved Mysteries and Dateline. It's like, Sal and I joke about it all the time. They start off by showing the prisoner, right? Or the guy who's accused of killing somebody, but he's just sitting there, and he's wearing a vest and a shirt like I am. Well, they don't pan out till the last shot where he's actually in a cell and he's been convicted. So anyhow, I was intrigued not only by the plot of this particular episode, but because every time I thought I was seeing behind the scenes, they kind of slammed the door on me and went, "Oh, look over here," and it was masterful. So it's fun to watch for that reason.
Okay.
All right.
How long has this one been out, Bob? Is this a new one? Because
this has just been out since November, I think.
Okay.
It's like eight episodes, I think, in the season.
Who's the host of the new show?
It's just voiceover.
Oh.
There's no Robert Stack, although they show him in sort of in relief.
It's Steve Harvey. We got a good one for you.
Yeah,
today.
good one for you.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's very moody. All of these are very moody, and they have a lot of.
I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
They're eerie, and this one was particularly good.
I'm gonna watch it.
Amazing. What?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
We're
I'm
hearing
intrigued.
about
Check
murder
it
in
out.
motel rooms. I don't know why.
sorry.
The murder in a motel room kind of way.
Sounds like an episode of CSI.
Why is murder mystery so big in this country? Why?
I don't know. Let's
know.
ask Marci. It's white women doing this.
My
know.
God.
True crime.
The
We need to
true crime.
Get
start
into
a
my
show.
van. Get into
need
my
to
minivan.
We need to start a true crime podcast.
My God, it's so.
My God, it is.
so
It's
big.
huge because it's so cheap to do, and it's all speculation. You don't have to have huge camera crews.
You don't
It's
even
just-
have to know who did it. It's
Yeah.
unsolved. It's so,
Yeah.
Yeah, then we could do only murders in the building. They got Meryl
Meryl.
Streep's in the new season.
Is
Yeah,
that right?
Paul Rudd
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
well,
Paul
we
Rudd,
knew
too.
Paul Rudd though because he was at the end of season 2, but
Mm.
they just announced Meryl Streep is in season 3. That's a great show. That's a really good show. We didn't put up. I totally forgot. Lisa Marie Presley died, I think.
Yeah.
No, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a
Jeff
tragic
Beck,
life.
Crazy,
Jeff
man.
Beck died. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah. One by one, all the rock gods are.
Oh
leaving
man,
us.
and there's gonna be an avalanche of them soon here because they're all in
Yeah.
their late 70s. All my
That's true.
heroes.
All the heroes. Yep.
Yeah, but we got Carol Baskin's husband back, so
We got Carol
That's
Baskin
right.
back.
almost
For
did.
every Jeff Beck that dies, we get a Baskin husband.
Right.
It's just the universe evening itself out.
Right?
Well, thank you guys. I think this was a
Right.
fun
Great show.
episode.
Great show. Great show.
guys. Great show.
Big
Great
fun.
show. Great show. Raphael, say goodnight. Say goodnight, Deborah. Remind everyone about your podcast and say goodnight.
Who you say to?
Oh, Raphael.
Oh,
Raphael.
Raphael.
yes.
Raphael.
Hi, yeah. I'm on the Geeky Dad podcast and on the Geeky Dad After Dark. New episodes are coming very soon. The season premiere is next week. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
And Bob, why don't you say goodnight?
Oh, okay. You can see me, I think it's Friday, at the Tecumseh Center for the Performing Arts, and then the Sal and Bob show at Genetti's Theater next Thursday, and then the Traverse City Comedy Festival the following week. And as ever, once a week, check out the Sal and Bob podcast.
Sal and Bob podcast.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. And classic conversation.
Classic.
Conversation. So, Marcy, say goodnight.
Oh, good night, you guys. You can see me at my office on Northwestern writing loans, but I do need to get into a show. So,
Yeah, come on out to Genetti's.
well, I'm coming out to a show.
Okay.
There you
All right.
go, and I'll let you
Yeah.
know when it is.
And then you're officially part of Crossing the Streams now. So we're not gonna put you on
Full-fledged
with.
member.
We're not gonna
Do
put
you
you
need
on
my social
special-
security number?
Yeah.
Marcy, the Amy Grant lookalike.
Yeah.
Oh God,
You think she look-
Amy
does.
Grant.
I know.
It's true.
Sal, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching Crossing the Stream. SalDemilio.com, Sal and Bob Podcast, Genetti's.com, TraverseCityComedyFest.com.
All right. And I am Jeff Dwoskin, Classic Conversations. Check out my 200th episode. It was just released on Monday. Pretty excited about
Great
that.
show. Great show, Jeff.
Dave
Very great show.
Thomas from SCTV. Good times. Good times. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next time. And that has been another episode of Crossing the Streams. Join us every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow the Jeff Dwoskin Show on YouTube to be alerted every time we go live with your hosts, Jeff Dwoskin, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Bob Phillips, Sal D'Amelio. We're all in the socials. Follow us, listen to our podcast, Classic Conversations, and the Sal and Bob Show. Check them all out, and we'll see you next week and every week when we cross more streams right here. See you then.